Hey everybody, I hope and pray that you're doing well. Today as we come to our word from the word, and today that word is mourning. Mourning. Now that mourning is with a U. If you notice, it's the weeping and crying and the emotions that we have when we are just distraught. Now, if you're watching daily, today is Good Friday, and I cannot help but reiterate the point that I pray you already know, that the only reason we can call it Good Friday is because of Sunday. So today, since I've just been doing these videos during the week, I'm just gonna wrap up the rest of the Easter story. And let me just say, if you don't have a church home, we'd love to have you come join with us this Sunday. We'll be online, even if you're not in the neighborhood, to join us Sunday at 10:30. We'd love to have you. But today, I want us to look at Mark chapter 15, verses 34 through 39, where we find Jesus in his last moments on the cross. It says this: Now, when the sixth hour had come, there was darkness over the whole land until the ninth hour. And at the ninth hour, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, which is translated, my God, why have you forsaken me? Some of those who stood by when they heard that said, Look, he is calling for Elijah. Then someone ran and filled a sponge full of sour wine, put it on a reed, and offered it to him to drink, saying, Let him alone. Let us see if Elijah will come to take him down. And Jesus cried out with a loud voice and breathed his last. Then the veil of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. So when the centurion who stood opposite him saw that he cried out like this and breathed his last, he said, Truly, this man was the Son of God. It's a shame that it took him that long to figure out who Jesus really was. But today, I believe there's a lot of people that are still yet to find out. We know there's still those who are yet to find out exactly who Jesus was and is today. But as I was thinking about that word mourning, and I can't help but look at the whole Easter weekend and just think for a moment how difficult it would have been for those disciples. And no wonder they were scattered. No wonder they were running and hiding, because they would basically assume that because they were followers of Christ and because they had been so closely with him and all that he did, that they would be next. Could have been fearful for their lives, fearful for other people taking matters into their own hands. But even more than that, they were mourning. It's one thing that we see even in the story of Lazarus, that Jesus wept. And mourning is a natural emotion, a natural response to a distraught situation. And I can only imagine that the morning, Friday was probably a lot of just shock and awe and just cannot believe it. But then on Saturday, as I typically call it, a silent Saturday, because it was probably the quietest Sabbath day that they'd ever seen. It was the last Sabbath that was need of celebrating. Because when Jesus returned on Sunday, right, when he returned that first Easter Sunday, and then worship began like never before. The old had passed away. Behold, all things had become new in Jesus Christ. He was the fulfillment of all the Old Testament. And finally, he had finished his mission. That's why he said, it is finished. Not, as you've heard probably many preachers say, aren't you glad he didn't say, I am finished, but he said, it is finished. So he finished what he was set to do on the cross, and they buried him, and you would think all was lost and all that mourning would just continue on until the emotions just kind of ran out, right? Until they just kind of got over it, which we know you never get over mourning and losing someone. But that wasn't the end of the story. Because on Sunday morning, even amongst all the confusion of wanting to know, when they went and didn't recognize him, but the tomb was empty. And I cannot help but think about those beautiful words in Psalm 30 and verse 5, the end of that verse, he says, Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Now that morning is without the you. He's talking about in the morning time. But I can't help but relate the two to say that your mourning, your weeping, can be turned into a great and wonderful morning, a joyous morning. In other words, a beautiful day. So today, remember this Good Friday. I know a lot of us, you may be looking forward to a wonderful weekend, maybe an extended weekend, maybe time off, time away, whatever the case may be. Let's remember to focus. Let's remember to focus on the reason that we celebrate Easter. And it's because of the empty tomb, because our mourning, because of our sin, the weeping, it's only endured for a moment, but joy comes in the morning. God bless you, and I pray you have a great, great day.